Hi guys, welcome back to EK Cooling EXPO, the third day today. So with me, I have Attila Gobor, Technical Marketing Manager, and Jaka Klemenčič, our Easy Cooling Business Loop Manager. So hi guys.
Hello. Hi, welcome.
So today we'll be having really interesting webinars, talks about throughout, I think, next 4 or 5 hours. So stay tuned, and we will start with the EK-AIO, which you already have seen in the webinar. I will probably just start with AIO. So Jaka, because of course it's your business unit. First question, I would just say about EK-AIO. We have been talking about a little bit of about AIO on Monday on the opening, I would say in the opening ceremony. But now today we'll go a little bit more into details. So maybe first just tell us a little bit more about what did you want to achieve with launching the EK-AIO unit.
Yeah, of course, we wanted to achieve many things, right? But the important thing is since we are, for many years, EK has been developing products for custom loop, and these products are really amazing and made for DIY people who are actually more skilled and have a little bit more knowledge about building a computer. But with AIO, we took actually in some kind step back to the people who are actually entry-level participants. So they actually are not quite sure how to build a computer or custom loop build, but they still want to go into water cooling segment. So actually that's why the EK-AIO is the perfect solution for that. So it's simple, of course it's affordable. All of you guys know that custom loop build can cost quite a high amount of money if you want to have a proper one. So with EK-AIO we found actually a solution and step into this market actually. And also one thing is that with EK-AIO you only cool CPU. So you can actually, some want to cool GPU and CPU together, some just want to cool the CPU on its own. So this is actually a perfect way to start to actually unleash the power of your CPU. So yeah,
basically, if you have customers that wanted to use EK product and didn't want to go for the custom loop or more into now, they can have EK product in this segment as well.
Exactly, so. Exactly. That's actually the point. There's been AIOs are in the market for a lot of past years now. There's a lot of competitors, and we as EK also want to offer that part here. So we don't want to be excluded from any part of this industry that we're in. So yeah.
One interesting question, maybe also Attila can. How about the GPU cooling? Anything on that, or GPU, anything you want to disclose, maybe?
Currently, no, because actually, if you would want to cool the GPU, you would have to cool the RAM, VRM as well. And if you have an AIO, you can only cool the chip itself, which would leave all of the rest of the cards uncooled. This is why we have water blocks, but this is a different segment. So maybe one day we will make something which will be ease of use, or maybe we will be selling GPUs which have already integrated cooling so that you can buy the whole unit itself. But currently, unfortunately, nothing on this level.
Maybe one question a little bit more technical. The questions are really popping in. So basically, can you say anything about the performance difference between 120, 240 and 360 series? It's really explicit question. So if the Ryzen 3 3100, which one would be optimal? If we have Ryzen 3 3100, which is optimal for 122? Or
answering questions like this is very tough because it will all depend on which chip you have, what kind of sample of chip do you have, and also the airflow inside your case. Mm-hmm. So if you can buy the biggest one, buy the biggest one, and you will have silence. You will have amazing performance, and you will be able to overclock your CPU as well. If you don't have space in your case, you can also buy the smaller one, which will maybe result in higher noise levels or a bit higher temperatures. So you can also trade off, but like specific measurements about how much they are different, it's really hard to give because it will all depend on the case.
Application itself.
Yeah.
Is this one for push-pull? Okay, maybe also one, this can be, I think, a quick answer. Does the EK-AIO has a SATA power for 6 fans or push-pull configuration possibility? Do you see this is?
The fans currently use standard headers, so that if you want to,
you can plug it. Yeah. So it's not directly
it
plugged in the unit
exactly.
itself. Okay, cool. So we can move further. Can you maybe, Jaka, share a little bit more about the design and development of the product? Maybe the product itself, maybe some obstacles, some challenges. I know that a lot of things have been going on. I was not really involved, and it was, I think it's quite a journey for the
Yes, it was. Like I mentioned before, EK has been in the industry for a lot of years, and the core business, of course, is custom loop building, and this is totally different from AIO, for example, because it doesn't pay much attention, of course, to the design as a custom loop is, but it pays more attention to, let's say, to be closed loop, to be safe, to be all in one together, so it's easy to assemble. So it's not totally oriented towards custom loop. So when we started that, we have to actually rethink and start a totally new process. So think from the customer perspective. Okay, what kind of pains do customer have when mounting the CPU block, connecting together and everything, and what is actually needed in this market? Because before that, we were actually, if I'm honest, for the AIO mainstream, we were beginners in that segment. We didn't develop it before. Of course, the Phoenix and the Predator were actually more like of a custom loop than the mainstream AIO, for example. But it was actually interesting, and that's why also the team present in development and design had a different mindset. So from the beginning to the process and to the end, of course. But of course, we can't go out of our, let's say, out of our skin, and EK always need to have the touch of the design inside of a product. So we didn't go with a normal like square or circle one. We had to make some details, of course, so the product at the end would still look beautiful. So I think that in the whole process that we did, we made a pretty good product also. It's a little bit different from other products on the market.
Which is not easy to achieve.
Exactly, which there's a flow of the AIOs on the market, so it was hard to say, okay, how do we start, how do we do that? So, but I think we managed pretty good.
And there were also a lot of interactions with design, changing, optimizing,
exactly.
Also performance-wise as well, not only design-wise.
Exactly.
So it was really
For every product that we develop in EK, we think of aspects as we want to be the best performer, we want to have the best, let's say, output from the product, and of course to look good. And in the end, of course, to offer the support and everything. So we had to rethink also this inside the AIO. So yeah, it was all included actually.
Then just one question is coming in, but okay, we can move on. We can then. One thing that I think we also have to clarify, or maybe talk a little bit more about it. We're all talking about aluminum, copper, and we know that we try to avoid in custom loop aluminum because we don't want to that some of the customers will mix the loop because of galvanic corrosion. And then this is also why our fluid gaming series is full aluminum, because we take control of the system as well as the fluid works. But now when looking at AIO, we have copper radiator, copper cold plate and aluminum radiator, everything together. I think this might be a little bit confusing. Can you maybe just say a few things about it?
So as long as you have a field port, you always have the option that someone will put in something that is not good. We have a specific rule that if you have custom loop liquid cooling, please use purpose-made coolants who have the right ingredients inside so that no algae can grow or
Galvanic corrosion.
Yeah, galvanic corrosion. But people still ignore us and just use their own mix of something. So since AIOs are closed, we have a special mixture inside which will make sure that it will work for 5 or even more years without any issues. So this is why it is a closed loop, and if you would open it, then you would void your 5-year warranty.
Yeah, it makes sense. You have everything under control.
Yes, yes.
Good, good. One thing, the question that was quite a long one, so maybe Jaka, you will able, or maybe also Attila, with the mid to high tier Z490 boards having bigger VRM heatsink, have you had any reports of the EK-AIO block not fitting in the default rotation orientation? So do you know, as far as I know, there are no issues so far?
No, actually not. When building an AIO from scratch, we actually designed it to keep the safety zones from Intel, for example, to be out inside of those zones. So actually for the newer boards, we had no experience at all that it wouldn't fit or anything, especially for the VRMs heatsinks. So it shouldn't be no problem with that. So.
One thing that we forgot about when we were developing AIO is basically the price point. That's also a big challenge because of competition on the market. If you want to be competitive, you can do something to really be in the air, but with the price. But you know, in order to be really competitive, disruptive on the market, you have to have kind of balance, performance, looks, price. And there is a good comment, basically, how come that EK-AIO is so affordable? Basically, 120 version is priced in a region of the bigger aftermarket air cooler. So how, basically, can you say something about it? Jaka?
Yes, it's when we started to develop, before we go to the market, we said, okay, it's a big market. There are many price points everywhere, and if we want to be the best, not only with the product itself and performance and the looks, we also want to go to the market with the best price. So actually, to be honest to customers, to get them the best price-performance product. We really orient in this AIO actually directly to our customers, so a B2C segment. So that's why we actually want to get the best support, the best interaction with customers, and of course, at the end, the best price. So that's actually our goal and our strategy with this product. So yeah, that's why we managed to go with that. So we decided and we managed. So,
yeah, it's really, I would say the price for this product really.
Yeah, actually the point is that, okay, you buy a PC and build it, and it would cost you, let's say, at least $1,000 for a PC. So why not put in a $100 cooler and you have better performance of CPU at the end? So yeah.
You should, yeah.
Yeah, you should.
You should.
One question, because we jump and then we come back. One is really interesting. What about, we are now talking about 120, 240, 360 series. What about, you know, 140 series and from 40 and 280 series? Do we have any plans with that? Are we allowed to say anything about
yes,
it? Okay, cool.
Yes, we are allowed. We have already received samples, and they are looking good. So I don't know, within 2 months, 3 months, or something like that, we can be expecting 2 more AIOs.
That's good news.
It will be the 140 and the 280. I think that we are finalizing the fan because it's a bigger fan, and this is a different fan than the regular Vardar, which is a ball bearing, and we are here using sleeve.
Okay, cool.
Sleeve bearing fans.
Basically, 280 series should be really popular based on the fact that it's similar performing based on experience than 360.
Yes.
But probably lower noise because of the bigger fans. Good. One, I think probably a lot of customers, or maybe was talking about based on the design, is the AIO pump an acetic pump? That's, I think,
that was actually the
No, it's not.
that was the most popular questions in
That's
everywhere.
what I
actually.
left when I see
Yeah,
it.
before we start, but let's say that EK has always been different, and EK always wanted to go one step higher, one step better, and that's why, of course, the pump is not Acetec. The pump is actually an in-house development project. It's SPC-based pump.
Yeah.
And also, for example, in China, it's already patented. We're still waiting for a patent in USA. So it's actually an in-house developed pump, and we really take care of the, let's say, the performance and especially the reliability. We thought that the pump itself, if the product has a, let's say, a long warranty and it's represented as a premium and performance-based product, also the reliability has to be good. So we actually took a lot of attention to that part here.
Basically, we have like kept core EK things inside the AIO. So it is the pump and the fans, which are like EK signature things. So that's how we made it work.
Do we have any Threadripper options for the AIO? That's also one of the questions.
I would just say that not yet.
Not yet.
But it is in the plan. Coming soon. The only option that we are thinking here, for example, the Threadripper CPUs, they tend to get really hot, and we don't want to put just a bracket inside and offer a 120 to 40 version for a Threadripper, because someone who doesn't know a lot might damage the CPU in the end. The only one capable holding so much power is here a 360 version,
and
of course.
And then maybe 280. No?
And then 280, of course. So our first goal is to eliminate all the mistakes also in the customer.
You don't want just to push something out, so
exactly,
we are covering
that's not
something
our
and there is a
intention.
benefit to customer experience.
And also some are just including brackets so that you can mount the regular AIO onto the CPU that's like twice as big, and we just don't see this as a normal thing. So we are looking at different options of how to solve this.
Cool. One interesting thing, basically, more like how the workflow, how the process of developing and everything. How long does it normally take for an AIO to make it to market? For instance, from design, testing to hitting the market for sale. Do we have any? This is just really. It's a long time.
Do you want me to start? So
of course.
This one took a really long time, majorly because of the pump and the existing patents on this. So it's a battlefield to like actually make it work, and then to actually prove that it's different.
Yeah. So legal part was also one.
Yeah.
What on average, basically, if there wouldn't be any legal issues, so we go.
I would say approximately from half a year to 1 year.
Yeah.
That would be something estimated, because as we talk always in EK, we really take steps after step. So reassuring quality, testing, also reliability test, long-term test, and so on. So it takes time sometimes, but it's better to prolong a little bit and put the best product on the market than just throw it on the market and then there's something wrong.
And it's different when you do it. Basically, when what we are doing with 120 to 40 and 360 series, it was developed from scratch. Now it's not the same thing for 140 and 280 in this situation, because the pump and everything is already done there. So basically, the radiator part is being just developed. This is faster.
This was also a like very sensitive topic for us, because some might know that we had some issues with our previous AIO. So right here with this one, we wanted to be 120% sure that this is the real deal, and that we don't miss any basic steps and make mistakes.
Makes sense. So, okay, I think this will be the first one. Have you guys ever considered building AIO with multiple radiators? For this situation, I think.
Not yet, but we consider everything, actually. Right now, as we said before, we are entrants in this segment, so we try to discover all the needs and all the what customers actually want and what's needed on the market, and try to deliver that, of course. And if there will be, let's say, a big demand of the multiple radiators, or let's say also multiple connections, we will rethink, of course, also about that. We never say no.
Of course.
Yeah.
Also,
I mean,
if there is a market demand, you have to.
Exactly.
Who knows? Maybe we will have a case which will have the EK-AIO integrated inside the case. The options are really vast, so time will only tell what will be interesting for us.
One thing maybe, Jaka, you can, because of course you're really, is the RGB integration motherboard sync or standalone software? So how is it with the EK-AIO?
It's a standalone software, actually. So we rethink that from the beginning. Let's say the D-RGB or ARGB control here, if we want to put it with the controller separately, or just, let's say, without any software, any limitations, and we decided to go that way because we really checked the market and we saw that a lot of customers complain that, oh, my lights don't run instead if I buy the controller, for example, or it can't be controlled without the controller. So, okay, then we said, okay, let's make the options open. You can control it whatever you want with the controller, our EK Connect, of course, or with any other software there's on the market. So let's say plugged in directly into the motherboard. So I think this is the best option to have open cards. Actually.
Makes sense. Maybe one from performance perspective. There's one question: is an EK-AIO enough to cool the 10 series 900K, or we need to at least 2 times 360p reds to cool it down? What can you say about the performance? Is it enough or not?
Yeah.
Yes, it is. So this one should be more than enough.
The 360 series is the
even if you would overclock your CPU. Definitely.
I totally agree with this. One basic more like a design, if you know maybe which material is used for the, just a curious question, for disperse the light on the CPU block part in the, which material this is?
It's plastic, of course. We call it milky plastic, but it's actually nothing special. It's just plastic, and it's the final finish is made like that. So it's how do you say it? Not matte. Exactly.
Matte finish. Sorry.
Satin.
Yeah, satin.
I want to say saturated. It's not.
So can maybe just what is the future of EK-AIO? Is there maybe, okay, we were talking already about the 140 and 280 series. Is there any new products that are planned, that are in the pipeline?
Yeah, actually, like we talked before, 140 and 280, it's definitely a no-brainer. There's a big demand for that, especially 280. And of course, we wouldn't be EK if we wouldn't think also to widen the portfolio. So there is a lot of actually thinking in the backlog for the EK-AIO products, and I will just say it like that. We will actually try to cover all the taste that's on the market. So there's a big demand, let's say, for RGB lighting, and there's also demand without any RGB lighting. And there's also,
which
let's say,
basically quite becoming
exactly, yeah. That's this RGB or ARGB has been quite in the rise, and I think that some customers already are trying to. The market is getting saturated with this lighting everywhere. You can see it. So we will not overpass this. We have something in the backlog. That's all I can say. And let's say by the end of this year, you can expect a lot of new products also in the EK-AIO segment. So without any lightnings, there's also will be more performance-based EK-AIOs, even better than this one. So that's actually all. Stay tuned. Exactly.
One question. Okay, maybe it's come together. So where you can buy it, and there is one question: if EK ship to India as well.
We ship
everywhere. We ship worldwide, and basically where you can buy it now.
Actually, you can buy it, of course, on our web shop. As Attila said, we ship it everywhere, anywhere. And especially maybe for the customers from APAC region, from east part of the world, there's a lot of resellers there also, so you can already check that. Also there's a big project behind that to launch the product also in Amazon. So
That's
I will
something,
say, yes, I will say that in the next month, we will be ready with the launch also on Amazon. So all you guys in USA that are waiting for the product to get there, it will be soon. So be patient.
One thing basically was it's quite interesting. Have you had any issues, or have you had any issues with the LEDs in the AIO block hitting the coolant to noticeable degree? Maybe it's I would say.
I would just say that there's actually not enough LEDs inside to heat this coolant. We didn't have any problems before we launched this product. We tested everything, also with the LEDs on, with LEDs off, and we didn't notice any change. And of course, there's a small amount of LEDs inside. It's 8 small LEDs on the top, so
I think it's like 2 watts
yeah.
maximum.
Which will not, which cannot make a big difference in the. So maybe Jaka, I know that we talk about the new things that are coming in the AIO. What can you say? Maybe a few things about possible upgrades for if you buy, for instance. Is there anything planned that I can maybe, if I buy this one, is there any plan that I can upgrade it with something, or is there?
Before we talked about the actually the materials and the right mixture of the coolant and everything, and this is actually the main reason that we like to keep this product closed loop. As we talked, we like to eliminate all the trouble in the future and all the problems that the customer might happen at the customer, and that's why we actually we are having no plans to upgrade this product, so to be like with QDC or anything, because it is not like Phoenix or Predator. We like to keep it closed loop and safe.
This is probably why Phoenix and Predator were the one that are probably bringing this question up, because but it's not the same. It's not the same.
Yeah.
And the different.
Exactly, and the goal is actually rather to expand the portfolio than to make it expandable. So because you eliminate any future problems with that. So
the only thing that we will consider is to maybe offer fan packs, so that if you have already bought the unit and you want even more out of it, you can buy fan packs so that you can have push-pull setup, so that you have fans on the both sides.
Which we have to just bring it up what we talked before. You have to connect it someplace. You cannot connect it to the unit itself. You have to have a splitter, some kind of splitter for it. That's right. One thing, basically, what is the RPM range of the fans, basically low and high?
I think it's from 500 to
this is probably the
2200.
2200.
Exactly.
Yeah. Okay. Cool. Just to see. Okay. What can we? There's some more waiting for another.
This is also about the fan. Like some are saying, this is too loud. Well, this is the beauty of it, that you have a big range of the speed, so that if you want to have it silent, you just reduce the range. But if you want more performance, it is there. You just click the button and it will speed up and it will give the
of course, and when you are
necessary power. Yeah.
And when you're going silent, you have to expect a little bit higher temperature, but not in the throttling range.
You have to make trade-offs at the end. So what is more important to you? Is it performance or noise? And then you can adjust it to your needs, and that's what's
maybe one thing, we haven't been talking about the pricing at all. So there are guys that already know, but also probably guys that are looking at us and they're seeing for the first time the AIO. Jaka, can you maybe share the pricing itself?
Yes.
We just talked that it's really, really affordable. I would say the price is really disruptive. So can you just share about that?
Yeah. So the 120 version actually starts at $90, of course, without shipping, and then the 240 is priced at $120, and the 360 version is $155.
So basically the mid-sized cost the same as a GPU block, something like that. So it's an amazing value.
Yeah.
Yeah, I would say I'm really surprised, especially because I've been I was the one of the project for the Predator, and I know what the it was really different price range. So having this for this is completely.
And of course, if someone wants to order it right now, we have a special promotion going on. So just check it out. I think it's the best promotion this week. So yeah.
You have to click and search a bit.
Exactly.
So maybe I know that you've been talking about the EK-AIO. What is the purpose of it? Jaka, let me challenge you. I'm a newcomer, and I'm totally new I'm just trying to come to the liquid cooling part. I'm thinking of either buying an air cooler or maybe rather. I'm total newbie in this, and I'm not an engineer to understand anything. Can you convince me with something?
Okay, I will ask you one question. What do you do with your computer?
Of course, I'm doing gaming. Maybe not during summer, but definitely in the winter, I will be doing gaming for sure.
And if you're doing gaming, it means that temperatures are getting hot, right, inside your computer. And the simple, let's say, comparison is that water takes away more heat than air does. Yeah. It's simple. If you're not an engineer, there's a fire there. Now, how will you put it down, with air or water?
It's easier with water for sure.
Sprinkle, yeah.
So it's for $120. I bet that your PC costs more than $1,000, right?
For sure.
Yeah. So with 10% of your PC cost, you will actually have better performance of your CPU, and actually the longevity of the CPU will also be better. So there's nothing to think about, actually. It's $100. Comparing to the PC cost, it's nothing. And of course, at the end, it will be more silent.
So I can have it in the bedroom as well?
You can have it in the bedroom, so that your wife is not disturbed by it. So.
one more benefit of like having an EK-AIO instead of an air cooler is that you can mount the radiator and like fan so that you would be exhausting heat directly out of the case, so that if you have a high-end GPU, that hot air isn't recycled inside the case. So this way you will be expelling the heat right out of the case.
Yeah, that also makes sense. Yeah. Thanks, Jaka. I will buy it just after the.
Great.
Okay. We have some stock. We have stock now.
Two.
Yes, we have.
Two. Okay. One question. Also, does the EK-AIO pump block is it replaceable or not? Is it possible to do anything with it or not?
Of course, it's possible, but not, let's say, from the unexperienced customer. Also, only in our production.
It has been assembled, so it can be also disassembled. Of
exactly.
course.
But maybe if you guys are concerned about the pump or dying or being too noisy, everything is covered in the warranty. Yeah. So if anything is wrong, we will get the unit back and give you a new one. That's the easiest, actually. And then we see what's wrong, we replace it, or we change it, anything. That's what we do. Yeah. We don't want for customers to operate with that. Yeah. So.
Cool. I would say I think we have to wrap up a little bit. So because I think in 15 minutes already we have the next webinar ready. Jaka will be again back on stage. So gotcha. Stay tuned. Really, I hope you enjoyed. Thank you, Jaka. Thank you, Attila.
Welcome.
I hope you enjoyed the presentation. So anything else that you feel that you see that you forgot to ask us, just ask us. We have support that will definitely answer your question, or any concern that you have, reach out to us. So I would just want to say stay tuned because we are back with Classic Line. So we also talk about Classic Line in the opening ceremony. So basically now we'll really dig into the details of the Classic Line. So thanks again, guys. Thanks, guys. You can stay tuned. Be back in 10 minutes.
Thank you.
Bye.
Bye.